You know, we're surrounded by a world of signs, words, images, even just simple gestures. But have you ever really stopped to wonder how they get their meaning? Well, today, we're going to dive into that very question. And the answer, it might just change the way you see everything around you.
All right, let's start with a little test. What does this mean? Just a plain red circle. Go on. I bet one word just popped into your head almost instantly.
And yeah, you're probably right. If you see this at a street corner, it means stop. No doubt about it, it's a clear, direct instruction. Seems pretty simple, right? Well, maybe not.
What if you see that exact same red light, but it's on the nose of a reindeer on a foggy Christmas Eve? Well, now it means the complete opposite. Go! It's a beacon telling everyone to follow. So much for our simple rule, huh?
Okay, how about this one? Same red light, but this time it's hanging over a door. It's not telling you to stop, and it's definitely not telling you to guide a sleigh. Now, it's an invitation. It means come in.
So, here's the big mystery, right? Stop, go, come in. 3 totally different meanings from the exact same red light. This just proves the meaning isn't actually baked into the color red itself. So, where in the world does it come from?
So, to crack this puzzle, we've got to talk about this guy, Ferdinand de Saussure. He was a Swiss linguist, and back in the early 20th century, he decided to create a science of signs, or what he called semiology. See, he wanted to figure out the hidden rules that run everything from traffic lights to the very words we speak.
Saussure's first big aha moment was defining the most basic unit of meaning, the sign. He said a sign isn't just a thing. Nope, it's actually a psychological unit, and it's made of 2 parts. The signifier, that's the physical bit, like a sound or an image, and the signified, which is the concept or idea that it makes you think of. Think about it like this. The actual sound you make when you say the word tree, that's your signifier. The mental picture of a big, leafy plant that pops into your head, that's the signified. And Saussure said these 2 are inseparable, like 2 sides of the same piece of paper. You just can't have one without the other. The sign is the whole package.
All right, so we've got the sign. Now for the first big clue from Saussure to help us solve our red light riddle. He said the relationship between those 2 parts is totally arbitrary.
So, what's he even mean by arbitrary? Well, he means there's no natural or logical reason why the sound tree should be connected to the idea of a tree. It's not like the sound itself has branches or leaves, right? It's really just a group decision, a convention we all just agreed on and learned. And you can see the proof of this everywhere. Just look at different languages. The concept of this animal is the same, but the words, the signifiers, are completely different. We say cow, the French say both, the Germans say ox. I mean, if there was some natural cowness to the sound, wouldn't we all be using the same word for it? The fact that we don't just proves the connection is arbitrary.
And that brings us to his second clue. And honestly, this is the one that changed everything. It's this idea that really redefined so much of modern thought. Saussure argued that the value of a sign isn't just arbitrary, it's also differential. Let's see how this finally cracks the case.
Okay, here's the quote from the man himself. He says, "Concepts are defined negatively by their relations with other terms of the system." Now, I know that sounds super academic and dense, so let's just break down what he's actually saying here.
Okay, so here's the bottom line. A sign has no real meaning on its own. It only gets its value, its meaning, because of how it's different from all the other signs in the same system. We only know what hot means because we know it's not cold. We know up because it is not down. Meaning is all about the differences between things.
All right, so now we have this killer clue. We can finally go back and solve the mystery of our red light. Why does it have 3 totally different meanings?
Just take a look at this. In the traffic light system, the only reason red means stop is because it is not green and it is not yellow. Its entire meaning comes from its difference from the other options inside this one specific system. It doesn't have a positive meaning, just a relational one.
And boom, there's our answer. The meaning of the red light changes because the system it's in changes. A traffic light is one system of differences. A reindeer's nose in the fog is another system. A door in a red light district, that's a third system. New system, new differences, new meaning.
Now, this might just sound like a neat little language puzzle, right? But the fallout from this idea, that meaning isn't a thing in itself, but is created by a system of differences. I mean, it was absolutely huge.
See, Saussure's ideas didn't just hang around in linguistics departments. They basically exploded across the academic world, becoming this fundamental concept for understanding how culture, society, and even our own identities are built, like a language.
I mean, this one idea became the bedrock for so many huge movements. Structuralism used it to analyze entire cultures as if they were languages. Deconstruction took it even further, questioning if any meaning can ever really be stable. And think about it, everything from psychoanalysis to modern theories about race and gender, they all use this core idea that our identities are built not by what they are, but by how they differ from others in the system.
So, I'm going to leave you with a final question to chew on. Now that you know this secret language, start looking around you. From the clothes you wear, to political labels, to the brands you buy, what in your life is defined not by what it is, but by everything it isn't? You might be surprised by what you find.